What's going on, guys? This is Jay, aka It's Ghost Story, back with another Phantom Parade video. This one's covering floor 52 of Illusory Tower. Now, mind you, I definitely was not thinking of this floor whatsoever when I was initially making content. One thing that crosses my mind immediately is, first things first, I'm gonna bring it up. This is today's double upload, and also Happy New Year to everybody. Hopefully everybody has been enjoying their day. I decided to kind of do this because I was asked to do this floor, not once, but twice actually. So I decided to do it on 3 teams because I believe these floors are just so mind-numbingly easy. Now, from my perspective, I know a lot of you guys are still in these floors and you guys are asking for help, and I know not a lot of big content creators that I have seen. I don't really follow a lot of Phantom Parade content creators. Like, I can't name you a bunch of them off the top of my head, but I would just have a gut feeling, or I have seen that not a lot of them are going to just turn back the clock and go to these older floors. But as somebody who's not a general gacha YouTuber, my primary focus is Phantom Parade content. I'm like, why not? Like, if I were making content on this game when it first came to global, I would have covered this anyway. But I'm not just going to skip out all this basically free content I could make for y'all. And there's always going to be new players that are going to be discovering this game, and they're going to need help. They're going to need guides. And I could be there, you know? So any older tower floors y'all may have issues with, if there's like enough of an outcry for it, I'll make a video on it. But today we got 3 teams. Now the first team here, this is like the most free to play out of all of the teams, being the only premium unit being Yuji. Now mind you, the only reason why I'm using Anniversary Yuji is because he was asked to be used. And I'm like, how do we do this run in like the most easiest way possible without relying on, you know, the new Nanami that came out, Teen Nanami, or relying on Domain Gojo, or relying on any other red DPS, just straight Yuji. And the only conclusion I have is the GOAT, Green Kaido. Now, if you are a player that are in these floors and you don't have Green Kaido like maxed out, or if you haven't invested into him heavily, just start doing it. There's gonna be floors in the future, especially in the 70s, you're gonna need Kaido. Even on color negative, like he's not on mono on the said team, you're gonna need him. There's a lot of bosses in those 70s ranges where they're just spamming Jujutsu attacks, and this guy is gonna save your run. Like, this free to play, in quotation marks, free to play, even though, you know, Yuji is the best DPS in the game, I feel like you can clear this floor even easier with a unit like Toji. But you'll see that later, because this is the longest clear. The rest of the other clear are like 2 minutes long, which just shows how easy this floor is when you have, in quotation marks, better units. But not everybody has the best of the best units at the moment. Some people hopped on this game as soon as Anniversary came. They're like, oh, cool, you know, new Anniversary Yuji, new Anniversary Toto, new Anniversary Sukuna. So you also have to take into consideration that there are new players that are playing for the sake of Anniversary. So Kaido is covering up all the cursed energy damage. He's basically making it so the AoE that this boss does, because this boss does that dolphin AoE, and its ultimate also does an AoE as well. And it's kind of just like a cover-up for the rest of the team to stay alive. Cycle through those healing recollection bits, not even for the units themselves, but mainly to keep Kaido alive for as long as possible. If you don't have any other DPSs and you have to rely on this Kaido strategy, just please keep in mind, you're going to have to use those healing recollection bits to keep that guy alive. And if you're going to like want to amp Yuji's damage enough so he can keep pushing through to the boss, if you get ultimate, just make sure you use it before the boss ults, like I do with Nanami. Like, even though Nanami isn't, you know, combo ulting with anybody, just get those big buffs out and then let Yuji kind of do his thing, build up his passive, because it's kind of like the showcase video I did with Yuji. On the final floor 83 clear, where I came to the realization, if you get out the ultimate as quick as possible, the game becomes so much easier, because you have that 200% boost to Cursed Energy boost, which makes Yuji overall stronger, because his ultimate is going to be even more powerful than if you just waited like a tremendous amount of turns to pop ult. So the main goal I just have here is just hope that we can get the boss to 50% health, because this boss's main gimmick is that I believe if it's above the 50% threshold, it cuts all damage by a certain percent. I don't remember if it's 80 or not, but this boss cuts damage a lot. And if you don't have a unit like Toji, you may struggle in that regard. But when you get the boss to 50% health, the boss buffs its damage instead of cutting damage, which then makes the boss become so much easier, because yeah, the damage increase, it's noticeable, but the boss has such an insignificant health bar that you just kind of erase it out of existence. Like, I'm pretty sure this boss has around to a little over 10 million, which isn't much at all. Like if this guy were to take a Black Flash from my floor 83 team for Yuji, quite literally would be eviscerated in one hit. His unit would get eviscerated in one hit. But because we're not going like the full ultimate whale route, just right here specifically, it takes a bit of time. Like, we're doing it the slow motion method for the most part. But Kaido dies here, but thankfully by the time he does die, the boss is in a position where it swaps from cutting damage to then boosting its own damage. So we get to a point where now it's just a race to destroy the boss before it kills our team. But as you see, that one skill 3 from Yuji chunked the boss's health bar, and we're gonna break like right on this turn. And we're gonna get our ultimate for Nanami next turn. Yes, and then funnily enough, we actually get to see SR Nanami's full ultimate animation, because, you know, he did enough damage where he could just kill the boss flat out right here. As you can see, beautiful. Cool little unit. That was the free-to-play version of the run. The next version of the run actually that we have, and we're going to show off the damage check. Yeah, the boss has around 13 million health, 14 million, but next is going to be a similar team. However, instead of having SR Green Kaido as our backup unit, we have SSR Toji. Now, we're still doing this Inumaki route of just trying to get ultimate as quickly as possible, because as much as the AoEs are an annoying bit of this fight, I think it's even more annoying when the boss takes alt gauge and curse energy. But one thing you guys will see is that I played horribly during this run, and I feel like there should be a testament to just how good Nimble Body Yuji and Toji is a duo, because you can play imperfect. You don't have to play perfect to get a clear on this floor. In fact, I would say that's a testament to all these tower floors that are below 60. You can just make a lot, I'm not even just below 60, but 60 and below, where you can just kind of make a ton of mistakes and you'll still do just fine. You'll still clear the floor. And I feel like that's the big difference between the people that are stuck below 461, is that they kind of have to adjust to the newer stages where you're not going, I want to say rewarded, but you have to like pinpoint what you're going to be doing specifically. Like, this is the first mistake where I used my ultimate on the minion because I didn't think Toji was going to like erase that much health. That was the first mistake. And then Yaga died because I'm pretty sure I forgot to heal, and that was another mistake. And that kind of like steamrolled into things. But a mistake like that would end a run in floor 61 and above. But on this, like on these floors from 60 and below, it's just a mild inconvenience. Reason being, I'm showing you this right here. So for people that don't know, with Toji, is that his skill 3 removes buffs that boss adds to themselves. So because this boss had that total damage cut, if you skill 3 with Toji, he just rips that off and you can do normal damage. So a lot of people are asking me to clear this floor with just Yuji. Now don't get me wrong, Yuji is the superior overall DPS unit, but you also have to realize that if you have Toji, you can just skill 3 and then just absolutely annihilate the boss. Because now, the passive doesn't even matter anymore. And as you can see here, we only have Yuji and Toji out in the field, which we still clear up this floor no matter what. We made tons of mistakes, but those mistakes are just irrelevant because these floors are so pitifully easy. For the stage of the game that I'm at specifically. But a lot of you guys think you need like Team Nanami or you need Domain Gojo. You guys don't need that to clear these floors. It's like I said, I believe it was in my Yellow Sukuna summon video, where if you are below floor 61, I would say even below floor 70, you don't need all these huge, premium featured gacha units to beat these floors. You can beat almost every single floor from 1 to 69, if not 70, using standard banner units. I firmly believe that. And this is just the whale version of the team, I would say, in my best opinion. So we're just doing the same strat with Nimble Body Yuji, but instead of using Nimble Body, obviously, we're using the Anniversary Yuji and we're using Toji with them as well. And instead of using Red Team Nanami like I was originally going to, I'm like, well, the likelihood of somebody having Domain Gojo but not having Team Nanami is pretty high in my opinion. I feel like that unit was very slept on, and I was actually almost going to skip and I'm like, it's just Team Nanami. But then I saw the kit and I was like, you know what? I just threw 15k at that banner and here we are. I mean, if he comes back, I'm going to go for a dupe, most likely. But like I wouldn't say every, because we only had 2 hidden inventory celebrations as I'm recording this video. I mean, Gojo, Ghetto, and Toji came back as standard banner units, so it'd be very cool to see Green Shoko, Red Nanami, and Green Tinjo become standard banner units one day. But at this point, we have Toji hit that skill 3, the boss can't cut any more damage, then it's just free. So now we're just going to have Gojo pop ult, we're going to skill 3, all throughout. And then this is where it kind of becomes a major snooze fest, because the boss can't fight back. It's over. It's over right here. Like on the turn after this, it's done. This is a 6-turn clear. Like absolutely, you don't even need. You don't need none of that. It's too much. This is too much damage. You don't need to do all of this. And then I kind of whipped out the ultimates with Toji and Yuji just for the fun of it. We didn't even really need to do this. It's just for the love of the game. But that's the end of the tower. I'm going to show off the damage stats real quick. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed, please like, please subscribe. And talk to me a little bit. Any more tower forwards you guys want to see? If it comes out in bulk, I'll make sure to do them. But yeah, it's been Jay, aka It's Ghost Story, and I'll see you guys later.